Ripple got declined. Is this the end for Ripple? We're going to find out today.
I ain't gonna give in now. I just gotta live this now. I be gonna be when I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in their ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the break. Cause I am just up on the journey. You just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise. Grand rising and good evening, warriors all over the world. My name is Coach JV, and I'm here to bring the calmness to the waves in the sea. I want you to think about this for just a moment. So is Ripple going to survive this? Is XRP going to go to zero? Is everything going to go away? But what I want you to do is I want you to put you in a helicopter, or let's say a plane in a 30,000 foot overview. And let's imagine we're looking down on the ocean, okay? And there's a speedboat, which is like the SEC, Jim Cramer, all these people in the media and all the very, very wealthy people, the 1% that control your media stations. They're in a speedboat. And you as an investor and you as the 99% are sitting on a little raft inside the ocean, and they're driving the boat around and they're rocking you and they're laughing and we're up in the 30,000 foot overview looking down, and we can see that it's one person driving the boat. But I want you to think about something for just a moment. I believe what I'm here to do as a generator in my human design is I'm here to forge a way, come back and build safety. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I just go a little bit deeper than the media, and I bring back information to you guys to help you make an informed decision. So there was something that happened, the announcement that came out that would throw people off. People are like, oh, Ripple, they're going down, right? And these YouTubers and TikTokers go out there and they're like, see, Ripple's not going to survive. I want you to think about something for just a moment. I use an iPhone. Some people use a Samsung. Some people use T-Mobile. There's many different providers. And at the end, I'm going to show you how the ecosystem is actually going to work. So when one country decides to not use Ripple for their technology suite, it doesn't mean that Ripple's done. But this is what people do. So Saudi Arabia Central Bank continues CBD experiment. Well, here it is right here, Project Amber. Okay. And I'm going to show you. So what I do is I go into the documents. I don't just look at the tweets. I go into the documents. I actually read the papers. It's really exciting to me. Some people, this might be boring. That's why I bring this information to you guys. So we're going to first read this part of the document. And Ripple was denied by the Saudi Central Bank. But I'm going to share with you how powerful this is. This is really, really good in my opinion. But not that they got denied, but I'll show you the point of this and how it's all interconnected. Ripple, JP Morgan, Consensus, Ethereum Enterprises, Hyperledger Foundation, R3, XDC, XLM, XRP, Ripple are all building the new infrastructure of the financial system, QNT, HBAR, okay? So it says right here, there are two types of transactions accounting models that are typically used in distributed ledger technology. There are Bitcoin-style models that are based on tracking unspent transactions, outputs, and termed as UTXO model. Ethereum and Ripple and Stellar use a model where accounts basically are explicitly recorded on a ledger, and permissioned DLT technologies, Corda, subscribes to the UTXO model, where Hyperledger Fabric does not commit to a particular model, but most implementations use an account-based model. Let me ask you a question. If Ripple or Ethereum, XRP, XLM, Bitcoin, would they be used in these documents if they were going to zero? You have to pay attention to this stuff. Now, if I go a little bit deeper, it says, okay, now the qualification criteria was simple and a minimum capability set to derive from the high level of expectations of Amber use case. Note, this is where people are probably going to freak out when they see this, but listen to what I'm saying. Note that the public blockchain protocols such as Ripple and Stellar, they're mentioning both XLM and XRP, which is amazing, which are not often positioned for cross-border, which are often positioned for cross-border remittances and use cases, were ruled out because of the obvious need for permissioning and privacy interbank payments. Okay, so it's based on the permissioning and the privacy. They said, but R3, Hyperledger, and JPM are protocols that they may use. Think about that for just a moment. R3 is with Wells Fargo. JPM is with Chase. Ripple is with Bank of America. Warren Buffett's one of his number one holdings is Bank of America. Fam, I've been telling you, Bank of America, Chase, and Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo are going to be some of the dominant forces in the banking system. These guys are all working together behind the scenes to take over the whole new infrastructure. Okay. So yeah, they're not going to be used in this protocol, but here's all the different things happening. This, me and Ray from Link to, one of our best friends, he was on our show yesterday. We were talking about AI and he sent this over to me. So Bank of England, FinTech Accelerated Proof of Concept. This just came out. So the Bank of England is working with Ripple on a proof of concept, exploring the synchronized settlements of payments using interledger protocol. Family, as you sit there and the FDIC gets ready to go banks insolvent, their solve is on-demand liquidity, Hyperledger Fabric. They're all getting ready with ISO 20002. Is it by chance that all of a sudden all the ISO 20002, the whole messaging system was being created and really coming into fruition? The documents are coming out like 2019, 2020, 2021, as the whole country goes into a liquidity crisis. And in 2013, the FDIC was already getting ready for bank insolvencies. And we have a liquidity crisis, and all this stuff that we're looking at right here solves the liquidity crisis. Well, at the same time, as you hear what we think is bad news, which is all good news because it shows that blockchain technology and on-demand liquidity are here to stay, Montenegro joins hands with Ripple to develop CBDC. So as Saudi says, no, not a big deal. You know, we're going to look at some other projects here. Montenegro is like, yeah, we're going to work with Ripple. It works for our systems and processes. It works for the way we do our finances, guys. Remember, Apple, Samsung, T-Mobile, all kinds of different things out there, okay? So this is a picture of them sitting there. I can't translate that. But there's Brad Garlinghouse sitting with Montenegro, working to help them with their central bank digital currency. Now, this came out. I'm not going to go through all of it. This is Q4 2022 XRP markets report. A couple things I just wanted to show that stand out here. Where was I at here? It says many retail and institutional participants fled to self-custody via on-chain wallets. During this period, Binance remained the large portion of the markets by the way of liquidity volumes and faced several withdrawal cascades. Some accounts estimated 12 billion. However, institution treasury funds and market makers that traditionally relied on the centralized exchange liquidity sought new venues such as prime brokers, third-party custodians, and other credit underwriting parties in order to continue the trades and hold assets in a trustworthy risk management manner. So last year was all about collapsing the system, showing it's not trustworthy, to bring in regulation, to bring in Ripple, to bring in JPM, Onyx, all this stuff. And then we're going to have a monopolization, just like the dot-com boom. It's going to be a monopolization of the market. We're in the bust now, the boom and bust, and the largest companies in the world are going to monopolize. And this is the article right here that shows the outflow of cash from Binance is worse than the CEO, Changpeng Zhao, indicated last month. And it's becoming considerably more severe, Forbes and analyst shows. Okay. This is pretty cool. They talk about this in the Q4 thing down here. The SEC continues its campaign of regulation by enforcement without providing clarity to the market. Most recently, the SEC charged Genesis and Gemini with allegedly selling unregistered securities related to their yield products. U.S. banking regulators issued warned. This is the whole thing with the banking system right here, guys. It's like it's all about the Federal Reserve and the Feds taking back control. They don't want you being decentralized, making your own decisions in your finance. Coinbase settled a case with the New York Department of Financial Services, agreed to pay a $50 million fine. The EU, the final vote for the markets in the crypto, the MiCA bill was proposed to April 2023, and Coinbase was granted approval by the Central Bank of Ireland to operate as a virtual service provider of VESPA. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro signed into law the country's first crypto regulation framework, and Hong Kong reaffirmed its pro-crypto stance, and it aims to become the crypto hub as America sits there on their ass with Ripple and the SEC. Ripple released its UK policy white paper outlining its regulatory ambition to propel UK toward global crypto hub status by driving consumer protection, assessing crypto assets according to a different risk profiles, and ultimately to the grow of the UK. So we got Hong Kong trying to become the crypto hub. UK is trying to become the crypto hub as SEC Gary Gensler just sits on his hands and tries to destroy our financial system. Or is it all by design, guys? Or is it all by design? America's in a massive liquidity crisis. Banks are over leveraged. As Jamie Dimon tells you, crypto's a fraud. You know, he's connecting over here in, Saudi Arabia, China, all these different things as we're sitting here trying to survive, and people are relying on their pension, their social security, and our government is borrowing to pay for that stuff. Okay. This is the actual white paper. You can go through this stuff block by block, building up UK global crypto assets. You got really cool things going on here. We got the FinTech Accelerator with Ripple. Ripple is in everything. They got their hands in everything. So I wanted to start out with this here where people are like, oh my God, they're not going to use Ripple or Stellar. It just doesn't make sense. Like sometimes I don't use products or services for my companies because they don't make sense. It doesn't fit my suite or my model, right? But Montenegro fits theirs. So I don't want people to get all caught up with these YouTubers and TikTokers that put these viral videos out. Ripple is going to collapse. And I just wanted to put this out there. I highly recommend you go to Crypto Law and watch this full video. I'm not going to play the full video. And then I want to end this. And if I seem kind of rushed on my video today, I am. So I got the opportunity. So usually I have my son, I pick him up every day at 2. His mom picks him up, takes him to school so I can start work at 3:30. And then we rotate weekends. So we have him 5 days on, 5 days off, 5 days on. And so this morning I got the opportunity to take him to school, which is awesome. And so I'm late on my YouTube video. So all my things are backed up right now. So thank you guys for bearing with me on that. But I just wanted to remind you of this. Like, look at this. This is the interconnection, guys. QNT connects everything. Ripple's going to be there. XDC is going to be there. Stellar's going to be there. HBAR is going to be there. IOTA is going to be there. We got central bank digital currencies. The Hyperledger fabric is connecting it all together. So don't get caught up in this, crap of like, oh my God. It's like just invest in these intrinsic value crypto. 2 years ago was different, right? We're all trying to, get rich quick. And there was these, all these cryptos that were just booming, right? I'm just going to be honest. Like me, especially me too. I grew up a lot in the last 2 years in my investment strategies. When it's booming, it's hard to stay out of that. Oh, this coin is going to do this. And and I admit that admittedly, but I've grown up in my own investment strategy by changing my environment, changing my wise counsel, right? I don't play games with my money anymore. If I'm investing in something, whether it's a company or a cryptocurrency or whatever it is, I need to make sure there's an intrinsic value to that thing. I'm not just throwing money into shit anymore. I'm not just hoping. Hope is not a strategy. Warren Buffett doesn't just hope something's going to happen. He dives deep into the ecosystem. But anyways, I love you guys so much. Also want to let you guys know 7 days for free in 2023. You can join our Warrior Academy. 7 days for free in 2023. So basically what you do is you jump in the system. If you decide to stay with us, 60% of people stay with us after the 7 days. If that tells you anything, if you click the link down below, you'll get in 7 days. You get to look at the ecosystem. You get to go through our 120-day challenge, revolutionary 120 challenge. I'm not a financial advisor. I show you my portfolio. I have a wealth call every single Thursday with you guys. We have 7 calls per week. The ecosystem is unbelievable. So 7 days for free in 2023. We expect to see you in there. As we always say, Warriors, rise. Get